Congresswoman Ros-Lehtinen is, I think, unusual in at least two respects that I'm familiar with. She has a safe seat, but not because of money. If you take a look at her Twitter feed, it's insane. I mean, she is appearing with her constituents about every 10 seconds. So they may not like her, they may like her, but they know her. Yes? So she understands politics. The other thing is that she has taken an interest when she has not needed to in what I like to commonly call the end of the world. This is the stuff I'm trying to prevent. You'll hear about some legislation she's pushing. You should know she has another quality which is very unusual in Washington. She's persistent. This is the third time I think the legislation has been up.
Very happy.
So she gets a P for persistence. And finally, perhaps the most important thing of all, she's okay with being a private citizen, which is the highest calling. She's retiring. It's literally, but not figuratively. And I think you'll see that in just a moment.
Thank you so much. Wow.
Thank you.
It's such an honor to be here with you. Thank you. Thank you. Well, good morning. I don't know how this is configured, but I'm always so short.
Was it open?
No. You're please. This is for normal-sized people. I'm just a little height challenged. But first, I want to apologize because I'm going to be making a quick in and out appearance today. But this is such an important issue to me that I wanted to make sure that I at least had the opportunity to say a few words before I have to go. You know, you never get in the middle of a departing congressman and the jet fumes. So this is going home day. We just had our last vote. So, but thank you, Henry. Thank you so much. Thank you for, well, not the least of which for all those kind words you said 2 months ago when you testified in front of our Middle East and North Africa subcommittee on the perils of the Saudi 123 agreement. The check's in the mail, Henry. You can trust a member of Congress. But I also want to thank you, Henry, for your tenacity, for your commitment to ensuring that the United States really tightens the screws when it comes to non-proliferation. Why would we not? Yours is not a pretty or glamorous job, although you're pretty and glamorous too. But your job isn't. But I know it's tough to get the members' attention on an issue, especially when they have to really get into the weeds and understand what you are trying to do. So even though it really is as simple as this, does Congress want to cede all oversight and authority over the executive branch on issues critical to our national security interests, such as nuclear cooperation agreement? So it may be a lofty topic, but it really boils down to that. And if the answer is no, and I hope it is, and I suspect that most members would say that, as we are a co-equal branch of government, then I think that they would really need to listen to what we are saying and get on board with our initiative. I also want to thank our panelists today, Leonard Weiss, who played an instrumental role in the crafting of the Nuclear Nonproliferation Act, Mark Holt, one of our indispensable experts at the Congressional Research Services, that's the research arm for Congress, and the keepers of the knowledge and expertise that help members on so many policy issues. And of course, Tom Caraco from CSIS and Greg Wiener, both of whom can provide us with the kind of informed insights that all of us need to hear in order for us to help form our opinions and policy positions. I regret I won't be able to hear this lively discussion, but I know that you are all in good hands. So thank you to our panelists and thank you to Henry. I did want to say just a few words about the role of Congress, the non-proliferation threat, and the need for real and thorough oversight with respect to nuclear cooperation agreements. I've been around Congress a while, as Henry told you, and as Chairman Emeritus of the Foreign Affairs Committee, I have been involved in one or two of these 123 agreements. I've introduced resolutions of disapproval when I felt that the administration was doing the American people and our national security a disservice by entering into nuclear agreements with questionable customers, like Russia in 2011. What really irked me about that is the deal never even got a vote in Congress. The Obama administration submitted the agreement and then simply had to wait out the 90-day period before it automatically went into effect. And even if it did come to a vote, we would have had to vote to reject it with a veto-proof majority. Wow. Because the underlying legislation, the Atomic Energy Act, or the AEA, stacks the deck in favor of the administration, whatever the administration is. What kind of a system is this over such a serious issue? Now, free trade agreements, they're subject to robust congressional oversight, vigorous debate, and then receive an up or down vote. But nuclear cooperation agreements, agreements with far greater implications for our national security, they can come into force passively without congressional approval. The system is backward. It just doesn't make sense. And I was deeply involved with the UAE 123 agreement, and I was an ardent proponent of insisting that the UAE forego any enrichment or reprocessing capabilities if they wanted to enter into an accord with the United States. And sure enough, we got that commitment in what we all know now as the gold standard. But that was in 2009, and the Obama administration, instead of using that as the gold standard, used it as a one-off, special case. In other words, we regressed. And now we're hearing, sadly, that the Trump administration is not too overly concerned with Saudi Arabia's desire to maintain the capability to enrich and reprocess. This objective, as you will hear, I'm sure, doesn't make any sense on so many levels. It doesn't pass the smell test, let alone meet any standard of reason. Common sense dictates that there is no need for the Saudis to have enrichment and reprocessing capabilities, but for the desire to develop a nuclear weapon to aim at Tehran. This is a dangerous game. And that is why the bill that I introduced alongside Brad Sherman, a bill we've been pushing for several Congresses now, is so vital. That's what Henry was talking about, perseverance, tenacity. We're going to keep at it. It's so simple. What it does is so common sense, rooted in reality. It reestablishes congressional oversight over 123 agreements. It says to the administration, if you want to enter into a 123 agreement with any other nation, then go ahead and do so. But we urge you to seek the gold standard. But if you don't, then we will not allow you to simply get your agreement through passive indifference from Congress. Of course, shame on Congress for what we're doing, but at least we'll force our members to have a role. And you will have to present the case as to why, for this particular nation, to have this capability to enrich and reprocess, why that is necessary, and why it is not a threat to our national security. Anything short of the gold standard, then we will have robust debate, and we will have an up or down vote to approve your agreement. It makes a lot of sense. There's nothing more, this is nothing more than a common sense fix to an outdated policy. The AEA needs to be reformed so that these far-reaching and potentially dangerous agreements get the thorough vetting that is necessary and that the American public should require. And I know that you will get much more information from our listening to the great panelists. So with that, I'm going to leave you with the experts, but I encourage you, if you agree with me, that common sense is a little lacking in Congress right now, that you will help us spread the message far and wide and talk to everyone that you can see, your bosses, your members, and tell them that this is an issue of critical importance, and sign on to the bill that Brad Sherman and I have, HR 5357, the Nuclear Cooperation Reform Act. I'm a former Florida certified teacher, so I like to give homework assignments. And that is your tarea. That's the word for means homework assignment. Muchas gracias. Thank you so much. Henry, it's all yours.